appreciate and thank the organizers of this conference and its sponsors from the private sector. I want to thank Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Education, as well as our two big universities, Somali National University and CIMAT University, and Birth University, if I spell it correctly, as well as let me thank our private sector, the Chamber of Commerce, and Hormuz and the Habshil groups of companies. Thank you very much. I don't know if the presentation is in the background, but just it's a profound honor to stand before you today at this remarkable gathering. I don't know, Juwaria, do we have the presentation here? It's coming. My responsibility this morning is to tie between the National Transformation Plan, the Centennial Vision of 2060, and the East African Community Vision of 2050. And those visions is the brainchild of our president, President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. He is the one who advocated Somalia's accession to the East African community, and as well as the foundation of the Centennial Vision of 2060, which allows us to benchmark ourselves with regional development, as well as the regional, developmental vision of 2050. And as you can see from here, Somalia historic milestone that our first official participation as a full member of the East African community is a statement of intent and reaffirmation of the Somalia's future tied to the collectively destiny of East Africa. My theme is the laying foundation for regional transformation, a theme that resonates deeply with our national aspirations and aligns perfectly with EEC Vision 2050. Both our national and regional plans share one purpose: to transform the lives of our people, to turn fragility into resilience, potential into productivity, and dreams into development. A new era of partnership. When Somalia joined the East Africa community, it was not merely an expansion of borders, but it was broadening of opportunity to collaborate, to trade, and to prosper together. Our integration brings a new energy to the community, a youthful nation of entrepreneurs, pastoralists, and innovators eager to contribute. It also opens the East African community to the Indian Ocean, connecting our region to vast trade routes of Asia, Middle East, and Europe. Somalia's transformation plan becomes the national instrument through which this integration will take shape. It is the framework of that translates regional goals into local action, ensuring our progress strengthens East African community. With that said, let me go slide by slide and go to the second slide. Basically, our integration to the East African community will give us a regional benchmarking, and the regional benchmarking starts with all the big blocks that economically developed. They have where you say the North American Free Trade Agreement in America, Canada, Mexico, or the European zone where 28 countries and 450 million communities have integrated into one market, as well as the successful ASEAN market in the ASEAN region where 10 countries have partnered themselves into regroup into one free market zone, and China as well as other African nations. So East African community has the potential to become in the long run by 2050 one of our aspirations to become high middle income countries, to compete and to become a region that their communities and nation prosper and get economic development. The NTB 2025-2029 cross-cuts with the vision as well as the East African Community Vision, as well as the Somali Centennial Vision of 2060. They have almost identical pillars, which I will go through from here. Go to the next slide. This is the East African Community's vision to become, now in 2014, when the East African Community was started, was their vision to raise from $790 per capita income to almost $10,000 by 2050 per capita income. Our 2060 vision also envisions to Somalia to raise from now around 800 per capita income to almost $13,000 to become Somalia a higher middle income country. So we are almost by 2060, if we are envisioning $13,000, we are in around $10,000 by 2050. And we are in line with the region's benchmarks. On the pillars, we have around 6 pillars in the CV60, as well as 5 pillars in the NTP, and it acrossly goes through agricultural development, agri-business, and food security, as well as industrialization. Now, we are actually, when we have done the current state benchmark, the current status in our situation, we are laying behind the region on almost most of those metrics, but we have a clear plan to develop and to catch up the region's benchmarks. Somalia has planned to have infrastructure development. We are planning to have a new port, a new airport. We are planning to connect our region from Berbera, Bosaso to Gara'at and Hobyo into, and as well as Kismayo, into East African Community and the Ethiopian market. And that will give Somalia the necessary infrastructure development that it can connect us to the EAC region. It will also allow the East African Community region to connect itself to the Indian Ocean gateway and Somalia's vast blue economy region, if it's oil and gas, ports, as well as a regional gateway to global market. And that will give us a perfect connection and partnership with the East African communities. In agri-food, now we are actually import most of our agri-business, but I think with the region's benchmarking on agri-food, we believe that Somalia will get benefit from the East African community and also will reduce its imports on agri-food. Industrialization, where Somalia now stands on its bottom because of the high cost of energy. I think we need to address the energy sector that actually allows us to start manufacturing and to benchmark with the region. When you look the energy sector in the region, in the East African region, you will have Uganda getting the potential of the Lake Victoria and getting a cheap energy or cheap electricity of 20% of 20 cents. We have Tanzania, who have also around 15 cents and gets advantage of its potential of natural gas. And also we have Kenya, who's taking advantage on its geothermal as well as wind that goes around 50% of its electricity and 13% of its renewable energy. Somalia also will want to diversify its energy sector and electricity sources. Now we are mainly on diesel, which is a bit shame, but also we want to diversify our energy sources, not only to renewable energies, but also other important energy sources like natural gas, as well as, and we have Somalia a proven sources of energy of natural gas sources. We also want to connect the vast grid of Ethiopian grid that actually comes into a cheaper energy prices. So from there, we can actually go into transition into industrialization and manufacturing and benchmark with the region of the East African community. Human capital development, now I'm glad that our universities are leading us into integrate and partner with East African community, but actually is an area that we are lagging behind all about the region. Our universities, our schools are actually, now we have the Minister of Education who's working on access to education and later on into quality education. And actually is an area that we want to improve, and we have a clear, even though it's very expensive to invest, but we have a clear guideline. On trade and natural resources and environment with the climate crisis that we have, I think is also area that we want to improve in the near future. Go to the next slide, please. These are some of our goals of the East African community. Poverty reduction is almost very important to us. We have two important indicators for the poverty reduction. We have poverty reduction from 2% point of view, that the region, Somalia is now on 54%, and the region is also on above, a little bit above. But on multidimensional poverty, I think Somalia is in over 80% multidimensional poverty when we count the quality of life when it comes to education, health, and other important indicators of poverty. But 67% and reducing when we count only the dollar, the $2 rate of poverty. I think our nation is 54%. But we want also, most of our citizens, around 7 million of them are food insecure, 4 million also are around IDPs. We want to work hard on poverty reduction, and also the region is also struggling with us in that context. Next. Next, I think almost I covered. Okay, this is, in this context, as I said, we have to also focus on agricultural livestock and our fisheries, the blue economy. It's very unfortunate that we tap only 2% from our blue economy, and we believe the region is not much different from us, including Tanzania and Kenya, and they have that challenge from our, on their side as well. But Somalia also now is trying their best to venture into fishing and their blue economy sector. Next. Okay, this is the East African community also. They have a pillar, very important pillar on good government, peace and defense, which is a very important pillar for both under CV60 as well as under the NTP. And other human capital development, economic diversification, which I said it's manufacturing, energy, industrialization, as well as agribusiness. Next. There is a very important sectors that actually the region is focusing as an enabler sector, which is the science, technology, and innovation. Today, I'm glad that we are talking in institutional investments on artificial intelligence, and our universities are leading on us. So digital transformation as well as science and technology is very important to catch up the benchmark and the base of the region. Next. We also have the regional transport integration, customs and trade facilitation, and energy grid. There is some important indicators that actually we need to focus when it comes to customs and trade facilitation, and we have done a lot under the HIBIC process, but also we are lagging behind on this because Somalia is too big, and integrating our fiscal federalism requires a lot of political discussion. It's something that we want also to discuss from Berbera in Somaliland all the way to Kismayo, and I think we want to improve on the customs and how we improve and how we transition to ad valorem. I'm glad now that our customers have started to benchmark on items based, but also we are doing. We also need to improve our trade environment that actually give us some obstacles to our business people. I think the tariffs, we are the lowest in the region, and I think we can improve that. Go ahead. Fisheries sector, I've spoken about it. Go ahead. And this is the ICT sector and innovation. Go ahead. We have spoken to it. I think we have one last on Vision 2060. Go ahead. Yes. This is Vision 2060, and it's this is how Vision 2060 is benchmarked to the NTP, and basically this is the pillars of the Vision 2060, having a capable state, social development, economic development, and other cross-cutting issues. Next. Next. This is a benchmarks for Vision 2060, and around 37 million people. Our growth population will be, Somali will add by 2060 40 million population, which will increase Somali into around 60 million people. That's a big nation, and we want to reduce our tax to GDP ratio, which is now around 3%, and we want to take it to 15%. This will give us the indicator of a capable state to 15%. We have other important baselines that to reduce the extreme poverty and other important aspects. Yeah, next. I think this is the way forward. The way forward is, the vision implementation is the most important thing, and the NTB plays the role that as an implementation vehicle and drives some performance indicators. That's weekly, monthly, as well as yearly. We do monitor the performance of the public sector. We also want to track the performance of the private sector from now on, because they are part and parcel of the NTP, and most of the projects in the National Transformation Plan, around almost 30% of the projects in the National Transformation Plan are private sector-led growth. And we will do our part, and we hope the private sector will do their part, and no more free check. We hope next time we will monitor our performance collectively, and thank you very much.